nasty person. You've put the record on, so I can clearly not go say what I was going to say.
Good morning, Christopher, and a very nice morning to the rest of us who are all far more politer. So, here we are in the midst of the maelstrom.
I was going to ask both of you fine gentlemen if you had the delights of watching the England penalty shootout last night.
Well, I watched something. I wouldn't say it was a penalty shootout. I think it was an alternative penalty shootout. I think it was very basically who could miss the goal to win the competition.
Actually, it'd be more entertaining if they removed both the goalkeepers, as I think that would have made it a fairer competition.
Could this, at the risk of, this isn't a setup, I promise you, my beloved audience, was this a women's football?
Yeah, it was quarterfinals, England-Sweden last night.
Yeah.
And all it reminded me of was that actually Diana Ross's penalty in America all those years ago might not have been that bad after all.
I'm gonna take the fifth and be reminded of that line about if you haven't got anything nice to add.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way, H. The ghosts of the penalties of Chris Waddle, Harry Kane, and Stuart Pearce are well and truly forgotten after last night. It was awful. It was penalties 7-6, but we won 3-2.
Having been 2-0 down with 10 minutes to go in regular play. Yeah.
Well, I mean, all I can say is you've only got yourselves to blame. You don't want to give them parity when it comes to money. You don't want to give them parity when it comes to sponsorship monies. I would probably not play at my best if I was treated like a second-class citizen.
Well said.
And don't forget to tune in next week when you were here. Miss Piggy say. Yeah, I mean, they aren't fit to play. I mean, listen, of all the people in the world, you know when you're in trouble, when you're agreeing with your enemy. And it was Daniel Levy that told us it isn't sustainable.
Yeah.
Simply isn't sustainable. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. That's about as charitable as I can be. And you have to call it out. When you see something that isn't right, you have to call it out. And this is a segue. This week, we've had this business with, I still can't get his name right. It's Gibbs-White, isn't it? Morgan Gibbs-White.
Gibbs-White, yeah.
And I've had to do a couple of tapes on it because people can't speak English. They can't hear English.
Morgan Gibbs.
Slavery was abolished in the 1830s in this country. And I know we're terrible people. We should really just be throwing statues into rivers for the way that we've behaved. But we didn't start it, but we were one of the first to stop it. And this business with this footballer, but people can't handle the truth. And Sky Sports have led the charge with this because they wanted to puff everything up as it being some big Shakespearean drama. And you're hearing nothing. The football club had a deal in place with the player for 60 million quid. Now, I, who am nobody, I'm not Sky Sports, I have published hundreds, possibly thousands. I put into the search thing. I've got a little box I can put in on the top right-hand corner of my blog, the old .com, and I put in release clause or release fee. I can't remember. And I got about 8 pages plus come up. Now, I don't know if there was another 80 or another 18. It doesn't matter. But I have commented upon the release value of players. It is not a secret. It is not a deal breaker. And if somebody signed a contract to that effect, this leads me to my second point, and maybe it should be my last point. It's a football contract.
Of course it is. You could sue for breaching your contract, as both parties have signed a legally binding document. Guess what? If one side doesn't adhere to it, they've breached that contract.
Correct. So, it has no legal validity whatsoever.
All these imbeciles saying, just for another 5 or 10 million to get the deal over the line. A, have you ever had 5 or 10 million pounds of your own money in a bank account before? And B, you shouldn't have to pay a penny more than that 60 million because that's what the clause is. So that is the cost of the transfer. It will get done. It will.
I have gone. I went on record because that's the way I operate. I've been told all of this. I've been told this by somebody who is a legally trained lawyer and said, no, not bloody footballers again, with one of their special extra large print contracts, which is on 2 sheets of A4. It's Mickey Mouse. And people are paying homage to this whole thing. The reality is that Malinakis guy is a moron. I don't have a thing against Greek people or Australian people generally, but stupid people, absolutely I discriminate. 100% I discriminate. He was in the process of trying to enhance that deal, to leverage that deal, get him to sign a new deal, and then either keep him or sell him to Manchester City or another, it doesn't matter. But the player had decided that he was happy enough to come to Spurs. I'm not going to be big-headed enough to say, well, he wanted to play with the best team in the world. He was happy enough to come to Spurs. So when he was spoken to, presumably the agent is behind this. I've got to tell you, I don't think Daniel Levy loses a moment's sleep with player acquisitions. When the player was spoken, Spurs, yeah, all right, mate, yeah, wicked, powerful. See you next week. That's what's happened. There's no espionage. There's no James Bond. There's no falling out of helicopters, scaling up buildings in the middle of the night. And Sky Sports, this is why you don't have any subscribers left. You've hemorrhaged subscribers across the continent of Europe, and it's because you're completely out of touch. They should have people on their shows that can give them opinion. And I mean that without swearing, without denigrating, without mentioning serial killers. Tony, for example, we don't need people like you on our television sets.
No place for you, Tony. No place.
No place for you, Tony. You've marginalised yourself and you're going to have to deal with that, okay? The consequences are yours. You're reaping that particular whirlwind. This is why you turn up with your hat and your false glasses and your moustache. But they don't have Fabrizio Romano on because they don't have any money. They're completely and utterly out of touch, which is why, of course, they have the last word of Spurs on occasionally. They'll come in, out the cold and the wind and the rain for a warm cup of tea and be told they're on the telly again tonight, Mum. So it's completely redundant. I don't understand why people are paying them any money, but they started the fire, to twist the Billy Joel lyric. They've made this out to be a hysterical thing. They've made it out to be, what have Tottenham been doing? What are Forest going to reply? Nobody gives a damn. This is going to be a Forest player. See what I did there? This is going to be a Spurs player, 100%. And it's embarrassing.
I think for me, the focus should be at what a totally unlikable club Nottingham Forest are becoming. Firstly, their behaviour around Crystal Palace getting dumped out of the Europa League into the Conference League. Let's not forget, this was the club that tried to instigate legal proceedings against Gary Neville as they didn't like the truth when he was a Sky pundit talking about them. This is also the club that suspected that a VAR operator was a Luton Town fan in a Premiership fixture and tried to make a complaint about the penalties awarded. And this is also the club where there's a questionable link between Marinakis and multiple club ownership. He's in bed with that John Textor, and from everything that you read with him, you wouldn't want him anywhere near your football club. But he was taking himself out of the Company's House registration for Nottingham Forest when they thought that they could be in with a chance of Champions League football, and putting the club into a protected share scheme type venture. So it's all corruption. And then you look at his latest antics, you think, who does this bloke think he is? He is just... He will put players off joining Forest. When you pick a fight with base football agency, they're massive. They're really powerful. So they'll be talking to other agents. There will be players who will swerve Nottingham Forest Football Club because of how they've seen this play out.
They've already... They got themselves on course. They've done a lot of good work at Forest. You only have to look at where they behaved within the league table. So we've seen what they're capable of achieving. We saw the dressing down, the public dressing down that poor old bloody Nuno had to put up with. That was on Saturday at the City Ground. And on Monday morning, he was given a contract extension. I mean, this is like this is like a wife beater going into A&E on Monday morning and saying, look, I'm sorry I came home pissed on Saturday night. Accept these flowers in good faith. Shove them up your arse and throw yourself in the bin. I mean, absolute waste of time. Absolute waste of time. But this is the way he does business. He wants to be seen as this big, tough guy. But the truth is, and I know people are not going to like this, but he's the size of the building next door to me. And he wears a white T-shirt to emphasise the fact. And he's wandering around with an iPhone 6.
Most fat blokes wear white T-shirts, though, don't they?
Sound's gone on this, Tony. Can you do it?
So this is not fat. This is fuel for a love machine.
God, here we go. He's got all the lines, hasn't he? And we take his hat off.
That's the solar panel on the back of your head, Tone, when you take
and we reveal his solar panel.
Yeah. You're just jealous because I've got alternative forms of green energy. That's what it is.
I look at H busting out the Spurs mug there. He's been
this is a limited edition, and many of you missed out on this. This was freely available at about 15 quid, but you didn't want to buy it, so I had to take them.
Yeah.
Stockholm syndrome, Chris, isn't it? Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Welcome to my mug collection.
Is that supposed to be a poo at The Simpsons or something?
I didn't realise Stockholm was in India.
You didn't realise I did all the voices on The Simpsons, did you? You thought it was a whole cast of people. I know some of them told you they did more than one voice, but I actually do all of the voices.
You have been accused of being Mr. Burns in the past.
Hey.
He's just doing all the external voices because it's all the voices in his head.
Yeah, the demons.
Yeah,
the Dementors. So Morris Gibbs-White and the rest of it.
Sounds like a 1960s car.
Is his brother Morgan any better?
Yeah.
That was a deliberate one because I inadvertently muddled up. I mean, there's 3 names. Give me a break. I think everybody should just be called Dave. Wouldn't that be simpler?
My mate's dog's called Dave. It confuses things.
So we've got. I think this is going to be a done deal. I think that he's an excellent footballer, but I have to say, as you intimated there or said directly there, Chris, Forest. This is the second excellent footballer that Nottingham Forest have managed to really upset. And because the other guy, I can't remember his name, but he's gone to Newcastle for 61. He's 61.4 million. And again, this is another one of those deals whereby if you look at what these players cost Forest, the profit margin they're making on them is significant. So why this clown? I mean, it's like with Brentford. I mean, to his credit, Thomas Frank doesn't come out whining. You know, they've bought in, they've made up, they've sold on, and that's where you are in the food chain. So I think this Malinakis guy needs to get a sense of where he is. But unfortunately, some people, you can't even politely tell them. They don't want to know.
Well, it's the second in the line of great big fat Greeks that have been pissing us off.
Well, I think that's desperately unkind, but I would judge each case individually, and a pair of these wankers can do one.
I was just about to say, is this the politically correct version of the Three Amigos? Because I'm saying, I'm fucking out of here.
The great thing is, I mean, I do like to lead like a Viking charging up the beach and all the rest of it, but you can't do better than watch other people set fire to themselves. You know, and so you've got Ange and all the nonsenses. Because when you started to list it down, and I've done it in articles recently about the business of picking fights with fans, picking fights with reporters, and the carnage and all this nonsense. I mean, Dan Kilpatrick, not somebody I particularly like, but how does quotes between those two then come out in interviews and stuff? The guy has caused carnage wherever he's been.
Untold damage.
Untold damage.
Yeah, and I said all the time.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I have to interject it. On behalf of all the loyal Tottenham Hotspur supporters out there, he won us a trophy. He won us a trophy. We should be giving him due respect.
Tell you what,
we have given him due respect
outside the ground for him, shall we, Tone?
Well, what we haven't done is hung him naked by his ankles from a lamppost and pointed at him and laughed. I mean, that's what should have happened to him. He's had more than enough respect.
We'll erect it.
Wandering around.
Up.
So what?
I said we'll erect his statue the same time as we put the Sol Campbell one out there.
Yeah. We can have a dual opening, as they say. But
H is it the dual openings?
You were a little bit late there, Tony, but I'll take it.
there was delay on the feed. Sorry, sorry. London
Mexico.
calling.
But yeah, no, I just think that he's made an absolute oaf of himself, this guy at Forest, and he's treading through the same footsteps as Thick Dundee, and it doesn't work at this level. It might be charming, Sorry, go on.
Sorry, mate. Has anybody realised the absurdity of having a confidential release clause?
Well, it doesn't make any sense. Like I said to you, if you put that into my, there's lots of other better websites out there. My website, release clause. Spurs interested in so and so. There's a £27.5 million release clause. It's how a lot of football articles actually start.
Yeah, but apparently this one was supposed to have been confidential, i.e., only the parties who signed it were supposed to know about it.
Not interested. Fuck off.
I know.
Confidential.
It's just bollocks, isn't it? It's absolute bollocks. If you, as a person, you actually said something really, really astute the other day, which was actually quite quite shocking in the fact you actually said something astute. But
don't milk it, son. Get on with it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm leading up to it, son. I'm leading up to it. Slavery was abolished in the 1830s. And that's absolutely spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on.
Don't get me wrong. Every home should have one, but it was abolished.
Chris has got two underneath his desk.
One of them is currently working like the clappers.
Yeah.
Actually, being a fine fella, I think it's important to award not slavery but marriage.
Yeah, where were you going with this, Chris?
Yeah.
Don't say I don't appreciate my wife. I actually bought her a trophy in recognition of that. No. Little Oscar.
Well, there you go. There's real life for you. That's real love.
Is that a depiction of yourself, Chris? Without genitalia as well. So.
Well, I actually got her two. I got her the best wife and the best girlfriend one, and I thought it'd be funny if I gave her the wrong one.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned. I'm just getting notes pop up here on the messaging. The CID wanting to know what the rest of your trophies are in remembrance of.
Yeah,
here's the woman I gave a lift to the chip shop once.
Yeah, best ketamine salesman.
K-hole of the year.
Well, you got to be proud of them.
Remember the happy times. as you face your last.
Yeah, as they put the hood over your head and put the rope around your neck.
Nice knowing you, Diane. There we go. We're 18 minutes in, and it's already descended into a rape, torture, kill gag. There you go, folks. You don't have to wait long around here.
And this is about time, probably an appropriate time to mention Fred West and the Fritzels, isn't it?
No, we're building a new future. We're not hanging out on the works of the past.
I can.
How is your patio going, Chris?
Yeah, it's going well. Yeah. They've made it flat again. It used to have a lot of bumps and things. And that work out right.
Yes, we kept the photos, you said. Yeah, don't worry about that.
It was sad this morning. Sad this morning to hear about the death of that Felix Baumgartner, that bloke you remember when he jumped from space.
Really?
Yeah, he died today or yesterday. Paragliding accident over a hotel or something. Yeah.
Mate, did you see that? Did you see that documentary about his jump? I know it's not
unbelievable, wasn't it?
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Yeah. Blows your mind. Absolutely blows your mind.
I think his mind was one of a number of articles that was blown.
Here we go. Pay tribute to someone who's a daredevil. You get done. I'm just too disgusted for words. I'm so angry. I'm going to slam the phone down.
Yeah. I'm not calling in again. Till tomorrow. Goodbye. So we've got one deal that isn't done. Another deal that isn't done is Yves Bissouma, and that looks to be me. I honestly think he's going to be here next season. I've got
I sadly agree with you.
Sinking feeling. All of the press that suggests that he's found himself a new home is just fed from the agent. Oh, we've been talking to Roma, been talking to Juventus, been talking to ourselves in the bathroom into a
Come
tube of
on,
toothpaste. I mean, it's
are
just
they really
nuts.
serious? Are they really serious that clubs like Roma and Juventus would be interested in somebody like that who basically created the new definition of how shit a player can be in a season?
You didn't watch the final, did you? You were too busy hugging your new mates at the stadium and saying, "Isn't this wonderful?" No, have my tambourine. I don't need it anymore. My heart is opening up like you're out of your mind. He's one of the greatest footballing characters of this generation.
Jealousy is such an ugly emotion when you're a plastic fan with your fucking mug. Honestly,
Yeah.
some of us support our team.
Through thick and thin.
And
Yeah,
we celebrate new signings. We get excited about them as opposed to just being miserable.
Oh, here we go. Here she is trying to rekindle for the ghost of Christmas past. But no, Bissouma, I mean, I actually looked at his stats for that final, which, just for the record, I was neither there nor was I particularly watching it, even though I had it on in my front room. No goals, no shots on target, no key passes. And he gave the ball away. He gave the ball away 10 times, and we've got idiots talking on camera. What do you think of Yves Bissouma? I thought he brought vibes. What the fuck? I thought he brought vibes.
Mate, it's not even the people on camera, H. You listen. You go onto any sort of particular Facebook page and what have you. It's absolutely
Here he comes,
terrible.
our man on the terraces at Facebook.
Yeah,
What are you hearing? What are you hearing, Tony?
I'm hearing
there's a lot of mumbling about Bissouma at the moment.
That's very, very, very good. Actually, I've got to say that's almost lifelike.
I think Bissouma's actually eclipsed Ben Davis, and a couple of seasons from now, we'll be saying, yeah, he's entering his 13th season at the club. We've just extended his contract for another 12 months. Good model pro. He's never going to cause you any problems. No,
but the thing is, Bissouma came to us
with high hopes from Brighton.
Well, yeah, there was this general wave of good feeling towards him, and that this was a player. If the world, the planets were aligned, and we could buy a Brighton player, if they would sell us one of their players, it would be Bissouma, and he's lovely on the ball, and he's like, and all this. And since he's arrived, he's been drinking Tennant's purple tins, and he's been on holiday. He's been on holiday. He's pulled his trousers down, showing us his arse, and doing his jigger boombox routine, and hasn't played football. But the mind bending love drugs that so many of our fans, our fellow fans, are consuming in quantity, will tell you that he was a fabulous vibe giving player in the final. And he was as bad as everybody else. And I looked at all the numbers and all the rest of it. There was nothing outstanding there that he did. Nothing.
I would like to correct that statement you just made. He was no better than he was absolutely the worst player on the pitch by a country mile.
Well, that doesn't tie up with what I'm hearing from people that support the club, Tony.
Well,
show genuine support.
Oh, I used to dream of being a genuine supporter.
When I was a lad, I wanted to be a real fan. Now I'm stuck with you three. Now I'm stuck with you three, cunts, on a fucking Friday morning. Now it's fallen. All my dreams have gone.
I feel like I've just sort of fallen into an episode of the Last of the Summer Wine with you two now.
Well, but
one
Tony and I,
the other's Clegg.
24 minutes in, and Tony and I have to confess we had a secret confidentiality clause between us that we were going to drink a bottle of summer wine before we started this show.
Yeah.
That's why you were late to proceedings, was it?
Yeah, exactly.
I was throwing my guts up just seconds before, and you can tell by looking at me.
Yeah, well, I had to cover for H, so I had to make sure that we appeared to be credible, so I had to cover for him, usual thing.
Exactly. I mean, Tony can take it these days, does a bottle of summer wine, bang, he's on screen, he's good.
Yeah,
I'm wiping everything down with a giant sized bed sheet. You know, it's not pretty in there. It's not pretty.
He's got to change his nappy, as well at the same time. It's not a pretty sight.
Well, that fell off. Yeah. So, who else should we buy then, or sell?
Well, we're going over old ground, aren't we? But I read
today old ground. It's the time team.
So, yeah.
You thought they were in Wolverhampton digging up the back of a cathedral, but no, here they are.
Yeah, but the suggestion, according to various sources this morning, is that Son's going to sit down and have a conversation about his future with the club. Guess what? After the Asian tour, how ironic is that? So,
well, the real thing with Sonny, I posted on the Substack.
I read that. Yeah,
that doesn't read well, because there's a big difference between somebody saying, "There he goes." It doesn't even, I only invite him back onto these things to give him something to do, something to look forward. Oh, all right, Tony, you're right, mate. But if somebody says, "Oh, I don't think you're a very nice person," or something, that's fine. We all put up with it.
You're told that on a regular basis, aren't you?
Exactly, but by my family. But the idea that there are people who have tried to extort money out of you because you've done rudies with them or haven't done rudies with them, because we don't know, because the case is still ongoing. But I mean, it's just bizarre. That isn't good publicity. The trouble is, he's so old. I even read yesterday somewhere, and I think it might have been Facebook, before you chime in, somebody saying, well, once he gets this behind him, I thought, yeah, he'll be coming up for his 40th birthday. He'll be one of the hottest seniors in modern football. It's utterly bizarre.
I'm getting really, really fed up with this willy, won't he, and all this sort of nonsense. Just get rid. Just get rid. He's done. He's done. Just get rid.
Well, I think this goes back to the what a surprise! I should get 50p every time I use the word, but the infantilization of the coverage, that we have to pad everything out when we speak about this guy as if we're stupid, and say, well, he's been a loyal servant, a fantastic player, and let's run up his stats from 25 years ago and blah, blah. Yes, we know all that. It's like when you talk about your mother. If your mother starts to lose her mind, you're allowed to say, he's delivering pizzas. This is unbelievable. You walk off because you've got dementia, and he say, yeah, 15 minutes, love. Do you want onion rings as well?
Yeah. So yeah, was it White Gibbs? Was it you wanted White Gibbs?
We've got breaking news from Chris B, who's now come off mute, so we don't know the full identity of the release clause. Chris, over to you.
So, I don't know what to say. In fact, I'll say nothing.
That live reporter said, I don't know what to say. That's good for a reporter, isn't it?
Well, mind you, he's an upgrade on most of Sky's punters that are out there. Yeah, I've been outside Wolverhampton Wanderers for 23 days now. That's right, Craig, nothing's happened.
Yeah, we're still finding bodies. I just think, at the moment, with the transfers and everything like that, it all seemed to go off in a wave of optimism with, with Kudus and then Gibbs-White, but it all just seems to have come to a grinding halt again. I know Gibbs-White will probably get over the line. I'm sure it will do.
I've just posted in our chat group that Ben Jacobs was on Last Word of Spurs last night. And of course, when Ben Jacobs goes on these things, he seems to put forward transfer targets left, right and centre. And having scrolled through Twitter this morning, all of a sudden, some Japanese dude I've never heard of, Yao Gomez from Wolves, the central defensive midfielder, who is a very good player and I'd take every day of the week. But what's the chances they're going to sell their best player to us? Liao from AC Milan. What's the chances we're going to pay what it costs to get that Portuguese winger at that club? And would he want to come to Tottenham? And then they're saying Avi Simmons is still under consideration. But as H said, we had a little bit of an eruption for 24 hours. Then the eruptions ended and it's all sort of returned to normality and there's little to nothing going on. We've seemingly got rid of what was his name? The goalkeeper who was on loan at Leyton Orient last season, Josh Keeley.
Yeah.
So Josh Keeley seems to be going to Luton, which is
a batshit stupid. That is a batshit stupid selling. That is absolutely absurd.
But there is a salon and Luton's 13 miles from where I live, so I'd like to see my local club with a competent keeper as opposed to Kaminsky, who's moved on to Charlton Athletic.
Well, you would do, you far right activist. Just point out. We have hit a new low, ladies and gentlemen. The results are in.
Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un. Yeah, that wasn't last word on Spurs. It was We Are Tottenham TV. You're using the Spectrum brothers on this sacred platform. I mean, the amount of, and this is just, I got to get this off my chest because you can't keep beating up women and kicking animals. Although there is a new film coming out next week. This business of you put up a video and you express an opinion or whatever, and then you got people waiting literally an hour and saying, "Has he signed it?" You go and sit in your bedsit and we'll let you know. This is how the information loop works. You sit there in your bedsit in your dirty underwear and we will occasionally let you know.
I hear we're still in the market for Leandro Damião.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get, and this is. I'm going. I'm sorry, my head's about to pop off my fucking shoulders. But this is the same spiel again. Sky Sports and all these other bit image rights. I wouldn't if Damião broke into my apartment now naked with "Hello, my name is Leandro" marker penned on his chest. I wouldn't know who he fucking was. He's not on a Coke can. He's not selling noodles, ramen in Korea. He has no image rights.
You would do by the end of the court case, I can assure you.
And I'd have earned every single mouthful. But no, it's just the people propagating rubbish. I don't mind Ben Jacobs, okay? That's very noble of me, I know. I don't mind him. But please, this is a bit like throwing jelly against a wall. Maybe some of it will stick if it isn't a particularly cold day. I mean, João Gomez, or whatever his name is, we've been in from him before. And the others, this is like just a lucky bag, or a rucky bag, as I nearly said.
You got some Asian rucky bag.
Rucky bag. You can't say rucky bag anymore, you lazy pig.
I have special fried rice.
Now, that got somebody thrown out of the stadium for making jokes about rice. He's got to get home. That was the guy who's autistic. I mean, I know you've got your issues, Tony, and I don't want to drag that all into this. But the guy said he's going home to have a bowl of rice and was laughing. And the club had to rescind the deal because they just make snap judgments, which is what the left do. All they do is destroy. So just think all about that.
I'm special, mate. That's what it is. I'm special.
And we tell you that every day, Tony.
Absolutely.
His mother certainly did. So anyway, so who's next up for shaving then? We've covered the deal that isn't done and the other deal that isn't done. Are there any other deals that we can drag in kicking and screaming?
Well, there's supposedly still the Saudi Arabian / American links in respect of the stadium or actual investment, but that again remains a pretty good secret.
Some pretty good secret, a confidential matter. In fact, I'm going to start. I'm going to start replying.
Transfer clause.
Because a guy yesterday posted, probably in Australia, at about 2 a.m. He posted on the he goes, "Any update on your Malaysian news then?" And I thought to myself, well, first of all, no. Second of all, when there is news, we will share it. We're very good like that. And we'll try and do so in an adult manner. And sometimes things don't come off. Things don't work out. And if you need any clues, any examples of that, put in divorce rate into Google and see how you get on. And these are people that fall on their knees, crying, sweating, shaking. I love you. I want to be with you forever. And then they throw the other person under a bus because they've
But it's really
realised.
frustrating, though, that you got the likes of Liverpool going absolute guns blazing.
Yeah.
You know, they're basically just ripping up the market. They're basically out Chelseaing Chelsea at the moment, but they're actually but unlike Chelsea, they're actually buying decent players.
Are you talking about Liverpool Football Club who just won the division?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, but is it the same Liverpool Football Club that the bookmakers suspended all betting and then paid out early on them having won the division? Is it that Liverpool Football Club?
It could be. Could be.
Oh, so isn't a bunch of wankers from N17 who finished 17th and couldn't stop talking about a cup they won after they won 10 games. They won 10 games in a knockout competition against some of the worst, in fact, the worst sides they played all season. I think you haven't got your head screwed on. If only you're a real fan.
I would say that's an alternative view of the situation, H.
Your alternative facts that people are queuing around the block to join Liverpool Football Club because they're absolutely massive and they win loads of stuff and they've got a feel-good vibe and their coach, Arne Slot, didn't turn us down. You're out of your mind. You want to think about who you support, mate. Seriously, have a long, hard look in the mirror. Maybe not use a mirror. Just have a think, an internal think.
I think I'm going to need counselling now after all that.
I mean, this is the reality. They're on a roll. They're on a roll. They've got the wind behind them. Everybody enjoys watching them play great football, frequently great football. And we have been playing absolute toilet football for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And what's that? The fax machine? Oh, we've run out of paper. Oh.
Well,
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Look at Liverpool, the business they've done. They've gone out and got the players they wanted. They didn't fuck around. They just went, right, here's the money. Take the money, give us the player. Now they look after Isak. And if they get Isak, just you may as well just write the league off next year right now.
But Daniel said we're going to win the league. I don't think we will.
Sorry, I was doing a biblical reference there, which I ruined because I spoke over you. Were you saying, Chris?
But Daniel's told us we're going to win the league, so all of Liverpool's efforts are in vain, aren't they?
Is that the Premier League? Is that the Premier League?
The Premier League, the Champions League.
The Premier League, the Champions League.
I hope he's getting fucking messages left in the small hours. Yeah, mate, have we won the Champions League yet? No, he doesn't get any of that. But he gets paid the big bucks. I want big bucks. I like big bucks. I cannot lie.
Well, I was going to say the same thing, but I thought I didn't want to be that predictable.
He's still here, is he, Chris? Yeah, is he still that's him, is it? Yeah. So, what can you think? Let's think of something positive. Oh no, I can't think of that while we're recording.
Oh no, this isn't Mission Impossible, is it?
Bum, bum, bum. So, who do we think that Thomas Frank is going to improve? Because I actually think, to all gags to one side, I think he's tactically he's so much more aware, and as you know, he's got his head screwed on. That's possibly one of the most exciting things.
I look forward to seeing what he can do with the youngsters. And you've got some potential there with Mikey Moore, dare I say Odebear. They're 17 and 20 respectively. If they're actually coached, and if you see some of the videos and images coming out of Justin Cochrane and his training staff on the pitch, they're actually talking to them like adults and putting them through proper training concepts. So I would love to see one of the youngsters actually come out the academy and start featuring in the first team squad. Not walk into the team, but be getting minutes. The older players, have they got the appetite and the desire to listen to what they're told and to improve themselves, or does a Romero know best? So I think it will be interesting. Like the other day, I posted something in our chat group, and it was a tiny little thing, but about auditions for a long throw. Like how many times we utilise, and it's marginal gains. How many times under Ange did we have any concept of any tactical element of the game? We got a ball, I'll just throw it, as opposed to thinking how we could turn that into a positive. So for me, it's really encouraging, and I'm looking forward to it starting away tomorrow at Reading, our first pre-season game.
where I shall be doing my first watch along a ding dong.
All right, we'll join you for that.
You will do. You will
Yeah.
do.
Commonly known as Spacorama.
Say what?
Commonly known as Spacorama.
Spacorama.
Yeah, the Spac who's commentating on the game.
I'm not getting dragged into that sort of conversation unless I started.
You don't even get dragged into that conversation as you run screaming towards it.
So is tomorrow's broadcast sponsored by Holston Pills, or is it by Inch Cider? Where are we starting? Where are we finishing?
I tell you what,
by Durex Lube.
Well, you know me too well. I think I'm going to have to be very careful. Spirits is a very bad idea, or it could be a very long broadcast and one I have to be told about afterwards. So I just think I think the secret might be a low ABV lager. That way I can do lots of but I'm not actually.
What do most girls drink? You'll probably be safe on Foster's, dare I say.
No, I think a Coors Light I actually like, which I know is a terrible thing to say because it's not, it doesn't have a great reputation, but it's certainly better than bloody Foster's. I mean, what's Foster's 3.2 or something? You'd have to bath in that.
I've never drunk it. I refuse to lower myself to such lows.
Yeah, no, but I'm not having a bath while I'm doing this. That's definitely out. But no, I think a decent 4% that's nice and ice cold. Yeah, I think I'll go for something like that because otherwise because if things don't go well, then that would reflect the mood, and it's a dangerous game in which we play. But I have years of experience behind the wheel. I mean behind the can.
Yeah, behind the wheel with a can of lager in his hand. Yeah, that's a great image.
But yeah, we should be good. We should be good. I mean, listen. I mean, the thing is, the crucial thing for me is I don't have to rely on me not doing the right thing. If you understand me, because I don't wander around going, yeah. If we want to fucking throw it, that's not what I do.
Me and Tone will support you. He'll put a super chat in, and I'll come in with a £2 sticker at some point in proceedings. Go, buddy, go.
I'm going to have to spend this afternoon going through that because that's a fucking minefield. It really is. Because I mean, I think it ties in well with the sort of people that embrace it. So they can just cream the cash off of these people innocently enjoying the thing. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a couple of quid in the bin. I'm not going to lie. I'll be able to put this mirror up with a nail eyeball by, but it is a fairground. The dashboard thing on that of because what I don't want. And so this will incite this to happen now. But what I don't want is people screaming, yeah, nice goal by so-and-so, because the stream's on a lag. So I think we're going to have to you at least have to be a subscriber to the channel in order to get involved. And then hopefully we can sort of create, not a safe space, but a group where everybody's kind of in the same direction. But I think the people this is the thing that drives me up the wall, is that if you really don't like the product, why are you here? It's like going to McDonald's and complaining that they haven't got any bloody cutlery. It's like you need to find that you're in the right restaurant or the right, museum or whatever the hell it is.
Do you remember all those years ago when you used to go to McDonald's and they had the ashtrays on the table? Remember when they used to have
that was classy
chairs and they had the ashtrays and the fake plantage and everything? How badly those restaurants aged? None of that shit anymore.
But I remember that there was a Burger King opened in the high street in Colchester, and routinely you would see these plants left in the middle of the pavement because somebody just walked out with one. I mean, those were the Wild West days where not everywhere had CCTV.
It's still there, It's still there, mate.
We used to see people walking with blood all down their shirts and all the rest of it.
It's still there, mate. Sans plants.
But no, it was a funny time. It was a funny time. But no, the stream thing will be interesting. And there was a couple of people saying on the post that I put out, the reel that I put out, oh, you're not going to do that, are you? And you got to understand, I'm not selling my soul here. I mean, one of the best commentaries I've ever witnessed was on London radio, and I couldn't get the game anywhere. I can't remember where I was living, but I didn't have proper internet, blah, blah. And I think it was a friendly or something.
Was it?
Yeah, fourth floor. That's me. I always ask for fourth floor. So you get the heat from everybody underneath, you see. And there were two guys talking, and one was going, one of the great things about coming to Craven Cottage, he said, you're always going to get a decent cup of tea. And he goes, yeah, that looks quite nice. And the people messaging again, what about a fucking football? There's nothing going on. And he goes, mate, he said, so-and-so's had the ball in the middle of the park for the last 15 minutes, and then there was an argument over a throw-in. It isn't worth sharing. And the other guy is going, are you going to get something to eat? I'm not really sure. He said, well, I'm not sure either. He said, but if you're going, he said, roast beef, something like that. And I thought that was great. Great. You could actually listen to it because it was two blokes just chatting away amiably at a football match. And there was clearly nothing worth reporting. And you looked at it online and people were going, oh, I'm at Craven Cottage. I want to kill myself. Why have I left the house? It was just, it wasn't a great game. But so I can't promise you roast beef sandwiches and updates on those. But it is going to be more along those lines. It is definitely going to be very, very, very self-indulgent because I'm in my fucking front room. So you can laugh at my cushion. I had a girlfriend around the other day. She goes, how are you going to arrange that? And I said, what do you mean? I said, do you know how much that was? I've got this cushion that goes with the sofa, and it's got a peacock on it, and it's turquoise because the sofa's green, as you will see. And she goes, oh no, I really like it. I said, yeah, so do I. That's why I bought it. So you're gonna find me as you find me. That's all I can warn you.
Well, Chris, he said girlfriend, but what he meant was parole officer.
Yeah, exactly.
You've never dreamt of anything like that, Tony, no?
I used to dream of going to prison. Would have been a palace to me.
She helps me take me tag off.
She tags you off on a regular basis.
What? While you're down there? Yeah. Could you pass me my sock? But yeah, I am looking forward to it. But it is a weird thing because I've done a little bit of market research, and I've got to say, people who I didn't have much time for, I fucking absolutely have no time for them now. I mean, it's the wild west of stupidity, and call me what you want. I'm going to quote, all right? So you can't do me for quoting somebody, but shouting, fam, and screaming, oh my days, and putting a cap over your face. If you want all that, go and get it from that. They're freely available. If you want two bald blokes fighting over a comb, we are Tottenham TV. Ooh. This to me is not entertainment. You should be shamed for sending them money. That's like it's like a bear pacing up and down in London, and you're throwing
the boy HOTSPUR, the channel for EDI.
I said to you recently,
you're throwing biscuits at a bear in a cage that is pacing up and down at the bars, and you say, people, you're an animal lover.
I said to you recently, I'd heard all this feedback about this pool guy from Australia who does his channel. So I'd spent 15 to 20 minutes watching it to understand what it was all about. And I thought, oh my God, this bloke is hilarious. Genuinely funny.
He doesn't realise he's hilarious. That was my point.
All of a sudden, psychedelic colours and rock music and things in the middle of a street. You're like, this is superb.
But the one I saw, I mean, I've seen a couple of bits of his, but there was one I saw where he lost his mind completely. But people defending him well, he's an Uber driver. And I'm thinking, this gets better. Because you can imagine the fucking reviews he gets.
Highly entertaining.
What do you mean I'm an Uber 1? I'm a 4. I'm a 3 at worst. And he was wearing a suit. He was wearing like a parole suit. And then he took that off and he started playing a trumpet, which he clearly bought from a charity shop.
I clearly live in the wrong part of the country where people are starting to turn around and say, yeah, but he's an Uber driver as some form of excuse for something.
Oh, no, that was in reply to me saying he looks as if he sleeps in his car. I didn't know that was his vehicle of employment. I just thought, I mean, we've all slept in a car and you don't look great no matter what, even if you're in a fucking Bentley. Nobody looks great when they get out of a car and go, I'll try to look as if I didn't fall asleep in that. You know, you all look, and but he just looks like that all the time, and he does his videos. Now I wander around Birmingham. There's a place called Digbeth where they've got massive graffiti artworks and everything, and most of it is bloody brilliant. And I do like the area. There's a nice pub around there, and so I'll find a bit where there's a Scrooge McDuck on the wall and say, look, and there's Daniel Levy, you know, and it's all, but he stands against the backdrop of a rock, you know, rock face, and he goes, yeah, so all we can hope is, oh Christ, look at that. There's a sign saying careful falling rocks. Everything's so fucking haphazard with the guy. And that's why, we don't want to open the wound, but that's why I thought that he did great works against another YouTube host who doesn't get mentioned. Because you might not like him, but he stands for something. He may stand for stupidity and insanity, but that's what you get. It's got insane written on the box. You open the box, insanity comes out.
But it's funny and it is easy to watch, and it's on
correct. And if you're going to interview,
you need a laugh once in a while.
Precisely. And if you're going to interview somebody who uses the C word to berate you back to back, come on, you haven't been put in your place. Of course you have. He's won. It's a standing count. It's brilliant. You shouldn't have people on your platforms unless you've got some grasp that it's going to go okay. It's like the people stupid enough to invite me on and then wonder I'm talking about National Socialism and serial killers.
Well, you could have been speaking about the Nazi Party, so thank God for that.
Gott in Himmel.
Did you have anything to do with organising this Lamine Lamal's birthday party at the weekend?
No.
No, he's the Barcelona player. He had this massive party, but now they've faced a complaint in respect of exploiting dwarfs.
You mean underheighted personages?
Yeah, he invited a load of dwarfs to this party in Spain, and now it's all kicked off.
You mean vertically challenged individuals?
Yeah, dwarfism.
I mean, the thing is, though, you've got to act your age. Everybody used to say that to me. Just act your age, act your age. Well, I grew up watching Freddie Mercury and David Lee Roth, who would always have a dwarf in the picture. A hot girl in a bikini, a dwarf, you know, some light artillery. It was, you know, plates of cocaine. That was my era. Act your age. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. We've sent them home. We're really embarrassed. We've sent everybody home. So we'd like to celebrate with a nice bottle of chilled water in a recyclable cup.
And back to the football.
What football? What football?
And that's the problem, isn't it?
Give me an example of the football. Give me an example of the football.
There is so little going on that we have to talk about other subjects just to maintain conversation.
You could tell it was bad. They started going through his home furnishings for content. So I would hope to see something of a plan against Reading. It's not going to be particularly easy because obviously you can't legislate for their lot, and we're probably going to be doing that horrible thing where we're going to be giving people multiple minutes. But I would like to see something to give us some hope, which after the chaos of the Australian, and we haven't really touched on that, but yeah, the ITK business that Chris was allegedly not involved in, but the business of Joe Lewis losing his mind, and I think it's more about Joe Lewis' family and connections to Lewis, that they've just had enough. And they saw the business being tipped upside down and become a complete laughing stock while Ange was here, you know?
Yeah, they're businessmen. Everything's about increasing the value of the pound, and that club has been taken down the drain. And Paddy Power was using it as a parody on a daily basis.
Yep.
You've got a club that was sat 17th in the Premiership. None of the blue chip enterprises anywhere on the globe would invest in a failing product. And
absolutely.
The reality of it is if you want to be part of the big picture, and if there is a European Super League, if you're languishing 17th every season, you won't be part of that gig. So you've got to speculate to accumulate, and they've realised that Daniel's a great businessman. There's no doubting he's a good businessman, but he doesn't know the first thing about football. He's got no ambition.
He's a good property developer, Chris. I don't necessarily
Yeah.
businessman. He's a good
Well, you
property
see,
developer.
but that's the problem, Tony. You see, he is a good property developer, and he's a good man who understands leverage and lots of things. But he nearly set fire to, because his name was at the top of the tree, because of the moron that he employed, the chump, the backward know-nothing that he employed. They nearly set fire to the stuff they'd spent 25 years building, and this is one of the things, and I've got to tell you, it made me feel enormously proud. The fact that this channel, and anybody who goes through my back catalogue, I've been moaning about what they've got wrong for over 20 years, and now we're aligned with the guy who's the Prince of Darkness behind this mob, because we were the only channel calling out the reputational damage, the commercial irresponsibility of the way that the club was going for 2 seasons with Ange Postecoglou behind the wheel. It was a disgrace. It was nothing short of a disgrace. But we had all these dum-dums who many of you can't contribute anymore because you've been removed from the comments. You did that. You did that. You forced my hand.
Levy's done a great job, H. What are you talking about? Honestly, this is heresy.
No, this is not what I'm saying. You see, this is one of the reasons you would be going in the middle of the night. But they have come for you, Mr. V. Yeah, this is the way we operate. Business. And they weren't running the business right for years, but they were going in a glacial fashion in the right direction, because you don't hand out compulsory purchase orders. You don't do this. You don't do that. You don't do a lot of the things. You don't shoot bloody foxes. All these stupid things they were doing. But one of the things you definitely don't do is work for 25 years and then, you got any more petrol? Yeah, over here, mate. And this is what they did with that fat, clueless Australian. But no, you come on here and be humanitarian. Yeah, good day, mate. Ta-da, see you later. And it's great. They've come in. Cullen's gone. That's a warning shot for everybody, because systematically, when a business takes out somebody, it's like being attacked by the mob. They take out somebody where there'll be a resonance around the action, so you get the biggest bang for your buck. So, for example, you've got a board where who's the most personable person? We've seen the board. Go through Getty Images. You see the pictures of them. Donna was probably the person that, I mean, ask Agatha here, who was sending in his weekly letter to her. Hi, I hope you're well. Just sort of wondering what the fuck is going on with our backline, man. People felt she was approachable. So people felt she was approachable. She was the cuddly face of the cold business.
She was his pit bull.
She got 2 in the back of the head, like the Irish firm. They got rid of her, and they made sure that everybody knew. So, who's got Caplethorne's email address? Who's got Daniel Lee? Nobody has that, because they're not approachable. So, you don't work here anymore. You don't exist. Gone. Ta-da. It was a message. That was a message. And the message is, I'm here. That was stolen from Taken 2. But that was a message. And the message is, I'm here. And that is what Daniel Levy had to put up with. That's worse than a horse's head in the bottom of his fucking bed. It was the fact that he got Donald Marie Cullen's brains all across his fucking lounge ceiling.
I don't know who you are.
But I'm a great farmer. What?
Yeah.
Listen,
I have a very special set of skills.
One of them is reversing an articulated lorry out of the top end field.
The things I can do.
Jim lad. We just pop a little bit of Cornish in there, we would have covered the entire south coast.
Yeah.
I didn't realise Jethro was appearing on this stream.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead.
This edition of the Boy Hotspur brought to you by the letter R.
You're a pirate now, are you, Tony?
Don't forget to keep your parrot inflated there, Tony. Swedish sea dog in from Sturm.
Guys, I'm very shortly have to bail. The fun.
No. I'm leaving first.
I'm leaving first. So's my wife.
Right, and don't forget, folks, tune in again next week where
No,
Tony will be taking.
tune in for the live epic tomorrow against Reading. We'll be there. We can't wait to see it.
Oh God, yeah. Sorry, you see my powers of distraction. I need to work on. I know a technical fault that'll get me out of it.
What time is it on, Hayes? What time's the kickoff for that?
It's 3 p.m.
I may or may not be available because my mate who works for Ipswich,
Nobody cares.
He's Ipswich first team are playing at my local team tomorrow.
And he's asked Tony if he fancies 45 minutes.
I thought I'd
bring your records. Bring your records. You're on at half time.
I'm going to step in as a ref.
Shava.
Who's the wanker in the black?
Yeah, speaking of refs, though, honestly, I am a ref, so I don't like to besmirch the opinion. But the referee last night in that England game was bloody awful.
Yeah, but you can imagine the recruitment process. Who's the best referee to do the job? Oh no, hang on a minute. We're going to need that one over there with the one eye, the glass leg, and the ball patch because it's so friendly.
Terrible.
So that's where your girlfriend was last night.
Yeah.
That's where she is every night, and on that bombshell.
Right,
gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon where we're going to play Reading.
And sniff ketamine.
See you in the K-hole, kids.